Hey guys, I'm going to preface this video by saying that I've taken one of the suggestions from one of the most obnoxious fan collectors that I know and placed some lights under the fan for the video. I don't normally do that, and I don't plan to do it in the future very often, but it's so cold up here today that some of my T8 fluorescents aren't powering on all the way. They're just kind of dim, and it was very hard to see brown fan against wood ceiling, so I thought it was worth a shot. I can only reach one of the cords, but I will at least try one of them off and on to see what difference it makes. Well, not a big one there. Maybe at the end of the video I'll turn all of them off and see what kind of difference it makes. But I want to get into the meat of the video. This is what we would call a Dayton Lasko. Not actually sure what this would have been manufactured as. This is the brown version with the fake wood blades, but unlike the Sanyo that you might have seen in the museum and in some of my previous videos, the motor and such are not fake wood grain. It is just the blades, and there's 4 blades unlike the Sanyo. I bought this hoping that it would answer some questions, but I think it's in fact created more questions than it's answered, because there's no identifying marks on it at all. We know that it's out of the same factory that made Lasko, which were then relabeled Dayton for Grainger, but that wasn't technically a Lasko factory since it was in Japan. We've often mused that the OEM for these was in fact Sanyo, and Sanyo made them for Lasko, and Lasko made them for Grainger, aka Dayton, but we don't know that for a fact, and there's no particular answer here. A few other things about this are unique besides the finish. For starters, it has a actual pull chain on it. It's kind of hard to see instead of cord. I have no idea if that's original or if that was replaced. It would be pretty hard to replace that in that manner, but stranger things have happened. What else? I paid too much for this, but in my lifetime I've only seen this finish once before. There were 2 of these in a pharmacy in Georgia somewhere that I saw maybe 10-15 years ago, and other than pictures, that's the last time that I've seen this finish, so I figured I'd better get it while I had the chance. Came in via FedEx today. I was excuse me, it's cold up here. I was very pleased that it was not damaged at all in shipping. I was very worried about the plastic parts being smashed, so I was very pleased it was packed well. It was packed using a fan box with styrofoam, and that is a surefire way to avoid the majority of shipping damage. Unfortunately, it was not in as good a shape as I'd been expecting, but I did clean it up really nice. I used the Scott's Liquid Gold, which is a wood polish, but I also use it for any other finish besides wood that I'm worried about rubbing off or coming off in any way that I don't want to use more abrasive cleaner. I use the Scott's Liquid Gold, and it just gives it a beautiful shine, and may not clean as thoroughly as some of the other stuff that I use, but in this case I definitely didn't want to take the fake wood grain off the blades, and so I used the Scott's, and it's done really nicely. So I think that's all the storytelling that I have for this fan. I got the amp meter here. Now, some people get confused because collectors love this fan, so a lot of us mistakenly think they're good quality. They're not. The motor is underpowered, the blades are steel, there's only one bearing on top, and there's no bearing on the bottom. Plastic parts are very fragile and tend to break. There's just any number of problems with them, but we love them because they're cool. So, let's give it a try. low speed. 0.35 amps. Unfortunately, there's no tag to show what it should be drawing. Actually, we can look at the white one over here. I'll do that real quick. See if there's a tag on it. .89 amps. I don't know if you can see that. It's in the shadows there. So, I'll try to put this back in here carefully. I'm going to set the phone down. Last thing I want to do is break one of these fragile fans. Seems about on a par with what I've seen for these on low. The low is a little bit faster than I would like. You know what? It's bothering me. I want to see the difference of whether or not the other lights are helping or hurting. So let's turn them off. And see how it compares. There's more contrast with the fan against the ceiling. You can't see the details in the fan as well. So I don't know. I almost think it looks better without them. It's hard to say. And we'll leave it for now. I tried it, so I might as well stick with it. Got one more to turn back on. Oh, it is giving a good breeze. 0.56. I can only wait for so long with that cold air. So let's go to high. When I got it, the bearings were very, very noisy. Still smooth as ever, but just noisy. So, okay, so we're right in the ballpark for the current rating. Okay. I've already done the airflow test on these, so I'm not going to do it again. It's too cold up here anyways. So let's power it down. And I'm going to find some way to prop the camera, because these have such an insanely long spin down time that I do not want to try to hold it still for all that time. I'm not sure if that's a good shot or not. Nope. I'm going to assume that that's a good shot. It looks to be. What was that? Yeah, I'm still playing with the lights. Shut up. Figured we'd need more light behind the fan if this is going to be the camera angle. And as long as this takes a spin down, I bet I have time to go downstairs and get my water. Holler at me if it finishes before I'm back. Must have already brought my water up here. Nope, it was sitting right there all the whole time. So now I got 2 waters up here. One of them is strawberry kiwi. 0 calorie. Good commercial for Nestle there. Product placement. I buy these by the case. They're 0 calorie, pretty much 0 of everything, and they're sweetened with whatever the good artificial sweetener is, not the one that's bad for you. Sucralose, maybe? Is that the good one? I'm reading when I should be drinking water. As long as these take the spin down, I have time to go to the store and buy water. Or dig a well. Water, natural flavors, citric acid. Where's the sucralose? There we go. I wouldn't know the difference. My wife researches all that stuff. Apparently aspartame is very bad for you, and sucralose is okay. So you've learned something. If I could do graphics, I'd flash the more you know thing over the screen. Wish I had a good place to put this. I have actually a lot of cool brown fans that need a home now. I had to put it in the museum instead of the Sanyo, but I think the Sanyo is cooler because whoever sees them with 3 blades. Okay, so now we got the 4-speed control. Fan is on high, I believe. Yep. And, oh, for those who haven't seen, there's a speed counter on the bottom that shows you what speed it's on. Next time I pick the camera up, I'll show you if you haven't seen it already. So let's try high with the fan, low with the control. That's 0.26, which seems to be the go-to current draw for many fans with the 5 microfarad capacitor. Definitely gives it a sweeter low speed than the pull chain does. These are 16-pole motors, so they're actually going to respond very well to a capacitor-based control, but they're going to suck balls with a solid-state control, or at least be very noisy. Okay, let's go to medium-low. .57. I'm getting some hum from this, which is interesting. I guess it's just the motor resonating with steel blades, because there's great vibration isolation for the ceiling, but none for the blades. It's 0.57, I think I told you that. Isn't that about the same as what the medium was? Or the low was? Was that the same as the... I don't know. Medium low, medium high, excuse me, 0.84. That's the same as high, isn't it? Yep, it's exactly the same. No difference, so... Okay, well I'm going to cut that off, and it's going to take 5 years to spin down, and I'm going to switch to the next control. There's a reason why I didn't pick the camera back up again, and that's because I really hope it's a good shot. It's really hard to tell, because I can't see the, Are we calling them viewfinders? That's what they used to be called. I can't see the screen. Well, I know it's called the screen. So we got the 5-speed transformer control, surface mount, Leslie lock, Evergo, all that good stuff. We're up to 37 degrees up here now. It was 20 something when I started. There's a sweet spot in the fall and the spring when it's the perfect temperature up here. Even then, it depends what time of day. Because, yeah, it might be 30, 40 degrees outside, but if the sun's out, it might be 70 degrees up here. If the sun's not out, that's 30, 40 degrees up here. It's an attic. It does what attics do. Funny thing was, I've had this space for years before I realized that this was a good space to test commercial fans. I didn't think it would be because it doesn't look as big as it actually is. Because the ceiling slants down and there's stuff everywhere, but it's actually an ideal space for this. I'm not going to do this to deliberately stop it. It's been bothering me that it's not quite as clean all the way in this crack here. So if this slows it down some, well, that's just a coincidence. Okay. 5-speed control. I'm going to plug it in. It'll be on low starting out. Drawing 0.28. Something's rattling. I really wish these were better quality fans because they're very cool. They're noisy. The motors burn out. They're underpowered. They don't go quite as fast as they should. They move a decent amount of air, but it's not like an exceptional amount of air. Okay, that's low. Medium low. We're at 0.38. Medium. 0.47. Medium high, 0.54. Okay, this control isn't great. Those speeds are all too slow, and then you get to high. I will tell you what I think control would be perfect for this fan would be a 3-speed capacitor-based control. The ones that just go 5, 10 with no 15. Because that 15 didn't do any good. Okay, I didn't let it get all the way up to speed. These take quite a bit of time to get up to speed because the blades are heavy and the motor is weak. But it's going to take forever to spin down anyway, so I didn't want to... You guys know what high looks like. Okay. We're going to try the solid state control. This is something I do with caution because... solid state controls and 16-pole motors don't play well together. So I wouldn't leave it on this, but for the sake of testing purposes, unless there's something already wrong with the motor, it's fine. I've actually seen some businesses that have these installed. So one of the places I go to get my oil change has 3 of the 40-inch version all on one solid state control, and they've been running for years with no problems. They're just noisy as all get out. Okay, well, while it's spinning down again, I'm going to play with the lights some more because I'm OCD and need to compare. I can't tell the difference. Let's see if I can actually look in the viewfinder while I'm turning one on and off. Okay, so that one clearly helps. Well, the remainder of the video here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this one to this side. May not even make any difference if it takes these bulbs so long to get to full brightness in this cold. But, good God, is it cold. Where are we at now? Thermometer cut off, so we don't even know. Maybe I can find another spot on here that needs to be cleaned just to hurry the process up, because there's a hair got stuck in the cleaning solution. It's not coming off for some reason. Come on, you thing. There's a rag, maybe that will help. Where'd it go? No, it will not. There, I think I got it. And what? Coincidentally, the fan stopped. Who would have thought? Okay, I'm plugging the solid state control in. It's on the lowest setting. Drawing 0.01, which of course is nothing. I'm going to inch it up. It jumped up to 0.13. Let it go back down. .09. .1. .11. It's going very slowly. I don't know if you can see that. It's going so slowly you might not be able to see. .12. 0.13. Can you see that it's actually in fact spinning? .14. 0.15. 0.16. 0.17. 0.18. 0.9. 0.2. Okay, well we've solidly made it out of the beginning stages, so I'm going to go 1/8 of a turn. Takes us to 0.29. You can probably hear it humming. It's drowning out even the fluorescent lights. Go another 1/8 of a turn. 0.45. Another 1/8 of a turn. 0.65. And of course high. Once again, I'm not going to let it get up to speed, in part because it's not good for the motor to be running it on that control anyways, in part because it's already going to take its time to slow down. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to wire it back up to the 4-speed control. And just put it on the lowest speed because I want to do one of those little 15-second Instagram videos that I do sometimes that just kind of show fan running at a nice, pretty low speed. So I'll do that. Okay, 0.26, and I think it's actually going to slow down some from where it is now. Could be mistaken about that. But let me show you the bottom there. There's the speed counter. 3 is high. It's high with the pull chain. 0 is off. 1 is low. Let me see what our current draw is. I don't want to be 0.24. So it's just a little bit less. 0.26. 0.26. That's one of the coolest things about these is that speed counter. How often do you see that? Okay, I am stopping it by hand. I'm breaking my rule. These things just take too long. That's just because I want to see Fan on low, control on low. How do we do? Good enough for Instagram. Isn't there an expression like do it for the vine or something like that? I don't know. I'm getting too old. I don't know all the expressions anymore. But that's the equivalent. Okay guys, well I am going to stop recording this video so I can do the little 15-second Instagram teaser and start uploading this one and all the other fun stuff. Take this back down, get out of the cold. Got some real cool stuff for you coming tomorrow. If you think this is cool, just wait until tomorrow. And, yep, it's like that. So, thanks for watching.